What is going on, people? If you couldn't tell, I'm still kind of sick. I was going to make this video a couple days ago, but I was in even worse condition and I didn't make it. But feeling a little bit better, so I'm like, why not do it now? Because of the whole, Disney Plus streaming service that just, became, I guess you want to call it. A lot of people are signing up for it. I'm still on the fence for it. I think I might do it. I think it's what, $7.99. When I read it first, it looked like it was like $12.99 or $13.99 or something like that. And I'm like, I'll hold off on it because I do have a big collection. But if it's $7.99, I'll think about joining. But anyway, if you couldn't tell by the title, what I'm doing now is I'm going to show off my Disney Blu-ray collection. I got a whole bunch of other Disney titles as well, but I actually packed those away. All my DVDs that I did have in my room, I kind of packed it away. It was taking up way too much space. So all my DVDs are now in storage, I guess you would call it. But I do have all my Disney Blu-rays here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show off my Disney Blu-ray collection. It's been a while. I think the last time I did like a Disney collection was probably beginning of last year or something like that, and it's grown since, so why not do it now? In this, I'm going to show off my Marvel stuff because now Marvel is Disney. So I got a bunch of Marvel stuff. I got some without slip covers, some with slip covers. There's a few steel books in here. So without further ado, it is a pretty big collection, so I don't want this, going too long. Let me get into it. So before I do, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. You can wait till the end, and of course hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload more videos. I do reviews and stuff. If you're watching this for the first time, if you've never seen my channel and my videos before, I do movie reviews and unboxings and stuff like that. So anyway, let me get into it. What I'll show off first is I do have The Last Jedi as well. So this is the little Star Wars collection of mine. I do have The Last Jedi, but I don't know where it is right now. But I do have the steel book of Rogue One Star Wars, and then one of the last ones that came out was Solo Star Wars. So now that the Star Wars or Lucasfilms or whatever is part of Disney as well, I have this with my Disney collection. So like I said, Rogue One and Solo. Then I'll show off my, smaller, I don't have all the movies from the Marvel Universe, but I do have a bunch of them. I don't have, like, the complete thing, so let me pull this out like this. The first one is Ant-Man. Then you have Ant-Man and the Wasp with this nice little lenticular cover. This one, to tell you the truth, I still haven't sat down to watch. The next one is Captain America, the First Avenger. Captain America, Winter Soldier, which would be the second Captain America. Then Captain America, oh no, I guess I have this in, I thought I had it in alphabetical order, but I guess not. But this is the First Avengers, Marvel Avengers. As I drop everything. Avengers Age of Ultron, which this has, for some reason, in the slipcover. That's odd. But in the slipcover, this is Avengers Age of Ultron. Let me pick this up because it did fall on the ground. But this is the Avengers Infinity War with the steel book with whatever you want to call it, the gauntlet and the little Avengers symbol and stuff. So that is another steel book. But Avengers, the Infinity War, then of course Avengers Endgame. I have Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember not knowing too much about it, and then this became one of the more popular Marvel movies. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Iron Man 3. It's the only Iron Man I had on Blu-ray. I have the other Iron Man, but they're on DVD. Thor. I don't have Thor, what is it, Dark Realm or something like that, the second Thor movie. I don't have that, but I do have Thor Ragnarok. So that, like I said, not all the Marvel movies by any stretch of the imagination, but those are the Marvel movies I do have. I have this thing right here. I got it. Actually, I don't even remember where I got this thing. Maybe Amazon or something for a little bit cheaper. And the only reason I did get it is to add it to the Disney collection. And it's like a special edition, I guess you want to call it. And it's this carrying case right here. This is a movie, and it's called Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. This is with what's her name, Ashley Tisdale and stuff. And I guess this is supposed to be like a purse or something. Let me see if I can open this thing. I've never opened this thing before, so I don't even know how to open it or if it opens correctly. How the hell do you open this thing? As you can tell, I never owned a purse. I don't want to break this thing, but the movies are in here somewhere. So I don't know if it's a push tab or a pull tab. Did I get it? Yes, I got it. Never mind. So this is actually the movies just come in this little carrying case thing here, and then this is like a little purse. So yeah, I don't know. All right, so this definitely isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I never opened that thing. So anyway, that's Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. Some of these movies I have just to add to my collection, I guess you want to call it. There's some that I look at and I'm like, I've never watched before. Will I ever watch it? Probably not, but it's, when you're a collector, sometimes you collect things to collect them, I guess you want to call it. Like movies you'll never watch or watch once and never watch again. These are the ones without slipcovers. This is Disney's A Christmas Carol. I want to get Mickey's Christmas Carol, where it's actually, all the Disney characters, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Scrooge McDuck and stuff like that. But that's A Christmas Carol. Cars 2. The Game Plan with The Rock and what's her name? What the hell's her name? It's not showing me. I forget what her name is. And it's not showing me. Peyton something, I think. Or is that the name of the girl? I haven't seen it in a while, but this actually wasn't that bad of a movie. But The Game Plan, G-Force, where they enhance guinea pigs, like they're smart guinea pigs, and they're going to use them to infiltrate somewhere. I don't remember the whole plot line of that one, but it was all right, I guess. Heavyweights, one of my favorite movies of all time. When I was younger, being a fat kid, there wasn't many movies for us. And then Heavyweights came out, Angus came out, stuff like that. And it, put the fat kids in limelight. So Heavyweights, definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Hocus Pocus, I have this 4 times over, to tell you the truth. This is just your standard Blu-ray disc that I do. I don't know why I still have it, because I do, like I said, I'll show you it later. But John Carter definitely wasn't as... I remember seeing trailers, and I was excited for it. I'm like, oh, this is definitely a different type of Disney movie. I watched it, and I'm like, really didn't like it that much. The Jungle Book. Then The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is a 2-movie collection, so I guess it has both in there, the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. This, as you can tell, it's like a makeshift little case that I put it in, because with Disney, they have like dual packs where it's like the Blu-ray and DVD, but then for some reason they had them in the Blu-ray and DVD, but they had them in the DVD pack. It was a little weird, so I took the DVD pack and I just made it my own little Blu-ray by folding over, because when you have a DVD, they're a little bit taller and stuff like that. So I kind of had to fold the cover of it to fit into the Blu-ray case, just because at that point in time, I have all my Blu-rays in one spot. I'm not gonna have one random DVD just sitting there. So kind of like I said, made a makeshift little case. This is Lilo and Stitch. 2 movies. You have Lilo and Stitch, and then Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch Has Got an Itch, I think it's called. The first one, the 262 is the I think is that what the hell? I don't remember what number experiment he was, but Stitch is an experiment that comes down to Earth, meets Lilo. He's supposed to be the most aggressive and all this stuff alien out there, but he wants a family and stuff. And then the second one, he tries to find his cousins, and then they made a spin-off cartoon with it. This is Mater's Tall Tales. This is cartoons. As you can tell, this is just like, I think it's like 7, or not even, I think it's like 4 shorts with the stars from the movie Cars. And you know what? They weren't anything to write home about, to tell you the truth. They do have a whole bunch of these short films, which I'll get into, but really not the greatest. This is another one of those DVD Blu-ray combos where it was in a DVD case, so I kind of again made a makeshift. This is Emperor's New Groove and then Kronk's New Groove, the second one. Gonna tell you that those movies are a little bit underrated. I do enjoy them. The Little Mermaid, $1 Million Arm, still haven't watched this one. Miracle, this is the USA hockey team where they go and they take down, what is it, the Russians, I think it was back then. Not a gigantic Soviet Russia. So yeah, they take down the Russians, and the Olympics that one year where the Russians were supposed to, just destroy everyone, and the USA team were a bunch of college kids, so no one expected, too much from them, but they ended up, taking them down and stuff like that. The Chronicles of Narnia, the Prince Caspian. I do have a box set on DVD, I believe, that of that movie. Pete's Dragon, one of my favorite movies of all time. They made a remake, I guess you would call it, or a reboot or retelling, because it's really not anything close to the same movie. But I definitely, one of my favorite movies of all time. If you go and check, that's the movie I wanted to. They had something for like reviews.org or something like that, where they would give you $1,000 to review Disney Plus for a month or something like that. I didn't get it, but that was one of the movies I reviewed, or the movie I reviewed, should I say. Robin Hood. This is the retelling of so many retellings of Robin Hood and stuff like that, but this is Disney's adaptation with, animals. You have Little John, which is a bear, and then King John, which is, a little cowardly lion kind of deal. Robin Hood is a fox, Maid Marian and stuff like that. Another one of my favorites. Race to Witch Mountain. This is a remake. This has The Rock and Anna Sophia Robb, and don't know what the little boy's name is, but this is a remake to the old school tale where it's like two. I don't remember if they're. I'm guessing they're aliens or something, and the government's after them, and they end up going into the Rock's cab, and now he's kind of protecting them from these agents and stuff. This is a dual pack. Prep and Landing and Prep and Landing Naughty and Nice. I haven't sat down to watch these. Maybe this Christmas I'll sit down. I think those are like shorts. One of the last actually animated movies. Now Disney has moved over to pretty much like Pixar and animated ways like that. This, I believe, was the last hand-drawn movie that they did put out, the Princess and the Frog. When was this? The last time they made one was, what the hell's the date? 2010. So the last time they actually made like an actual drawing is this one, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Secretariat. It's about the horse that wins. I think it's like the Triple Crown or something like that. One of the first ever horses and stuff like that. Secretariat. This is, I got a couple of these, I believe, somewhere in this collection. But Disney Movie Club, if you every movie comes with a little code where you can either get the digital version of the movie, plus it comes with Disney Rewards where you would take those points and you could use it for different things. Like if you save up your points to have a trip to Disney and stuff like that, if you save up enough points, I would just go and get movies that I didn't own, and this is one of them. I do have a couple in here, but this is Tinkerbell, The Secret of the Wings. Pretty much, I got it because I got it for free. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I guess you would call this like the first, movie made to like the live action. I guess you want to call it. Now you turn everywhere. This year alone, you had Dumbo and Aladdin and The Lion King, become live action. This technically would be the first like live action. This is one of the shorts from Fantasia, where it's Mickey as a sorcerer's apprentice, and he's fooling around with all the the magic stuff. This is Tangled 3D, the one about Rapunzel, where she's stuck in a tower, how many feet up, but her hair is just keeps on growing and is very strong and stuff like that. It's Disney's tale on Rapunzel. Tigger, the Tigger movie. If I had to choose probably my favorite character in all of Disney, it'd probably be up there. Tigger would definitely be up there. I just loved Winnie the Pooh when I was younger, and Tigger, I don't know, I guess my name is Tony, so I don't know, the cheese or something like that. I don't know. I just gravitated towards Tigger. And if you wanted to know my love for him, I do have a little Tigger doll right here that I got how many Christmases ago. But I got this. I got a few Tigger dolls in my that and Donald Duck. I know Donald Duck I like because my favorite color is blue and he wore blue, so I guess I liked him the same. But I think Tigger is if I had to choose my favorite Disney character, it'd be Tigger. Let me know in the comments if you're watching it and you made it this far. What's your favorite Disney character out of all of the whole Disney universe? Who's your favorite? This is another one that I got for free. Winnie the Pooh and Springtime with Roo. I got a lot of these like Winnie the Pooh spin-offs kind of deal. I do have the Piglet movie, but that's on DVD. The one with Eeyore, one of the ones with Eeyore I do have. But a lot of them I just got for free from the Disney Movie Club. So those are the ones that I had that were without slipcovers. I'll show off a few of my of the steel books that I do have. The other ones I do have sprinkled in throughout the collection. These, I don't know, I just had them on the side, but it was The Nightmare Before Christmas, Glow in the Dark. If you hold this or whatever, the face glows in the dark. And then the Hocus Pocus steelbook, like 2 years ago, I believe. Now they had put these out around Halloween time, and these were, relatively, depends on where your Best Buy was, they were relatively hard to find. But I did find both of them. I actually had a few I bought, and then I gave it away because I know for the longest time I couldn't find it in my Best Buy, and then for some reason they got like 2 or 3 or 4 copies or something like that, and I bought most of them. So those are the 2 of the steel books. I do, like I said, have a few other ones scattered in here in the collection, which I'll show off at one point. I'll get to them, but what I'm going to do is all the rest here, which is, the majority of my collection, are the ones with slipcovers. So the first one is the 101 Dalmatians. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. This is like two short stories. One is Ichabod is kind of runs into the Headless Horseman, and then the other one, Mr. Toad. It's about three friends. One guy, Mr. Toad, is, let's just say, a gambler, and he's pretty bad with his money, and his friends are trying to help him out of a sticky situation. Aladdin. This is what is this? The Diamond edition of it. Then, like I said, then they started doing these live action editions. So when I am part of the Disney Movie Club, so pretty much what happens is they send you a monthly movie. I got Aladdin 4K. Eventually, I don't know, it depends on if I look at the price, and that Diamond Collect edition of Aladdin's, more expensive, I'll keep that one. I gotta look it up. Then, like I said, this is the live action one. Came out sometime last month. It's all right. Definitely not as good as the the cartoon and the original, but definitely better than I expected it to be. I wasn't going to give it a chance, but better than I thought it was going to be. And then this is the dual pack of Aladdin, the Prince of Thieves, and Aladdin, the Return of Jafar. I don't know why the Prince of Thieves is on top, because the sequel would be Return of Jafar, and then the third one was the King of Thieves, where he meets his father and stuff. This is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I remember reading the book when I was younger. Pretty much, it's the kid Alexander. He just has the worst luck ever. And one birthday, he decides to try to switch his luck, and kind of wishes all his bad luck to everybody else and his family and the people he knows. And they start having bad days, so they know how he feels and stuff. So this was a fun and entertaining movie. Like I said, it's based off a book, and I remember reading it when I was younger. So the next one is Alice in Wonderland. Of course, one of the classic Disney movies. The Aristocrats. Bambi. Sooner or later, I'm sure you'll get a Bambi live action. This is Bambi 2. Beauty and the Beast. And then Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. And then you have Beauty and the Beast, the live action with, what's her name, Emma Watson, a whole bunch of people in this one. To tell you the truth, I do enjoy these movies, but I was more on the opposite spectrum. The princess and stuff, I enjoyed the movies, but definitely weren't my, I wasn't a girl growing up, if you couldn't tell. But, when I was younger, it wasn't the princesses I was watching in Disney. It was more the Lion Kings and Aladdin. And, I mean, you do have, Jasmine and stuff, but, it was more revolved around Aladdin, not as much as the princesses. And then, of course, Pete's Dragon, like I said, and Robin Hood and stuff. So those were the ones that I kind of gravitated towards. Like I said, I did enjoy them. This live action one, to tell you the truth, was all right. Nothing. I don't remember, it blowing me away, should I say. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. BFG, Big Friendly Giant. This is another, movie based off a book. Big Hero 6. This has a nice little slip cover, lenticular cover. That one's, kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't know about it too much. I picked it up and definitely did enjoy it. Very, towards the end, it's a rather sad story if you've never seen it before. Disney Pixar's Brave. That one, it's more folklore, like I guess it's Scottish. Definitely a little bit different. A Bug's Life. This is a classic movie, one of my favorites growing up. Cars. And then Cars 3. I do have, like I said, Cars 2 over there. Just don't have a slipcover with it. Christopher Robin. Like I said, Winnie the Pooh. Just in general, Winnie the Pooh's universe is one of my favorites. So when they actually, make a movie with Christopher Robin grown up, and then you get these, cute little plushy animals. If you haven't seen this one, definitely go ahead. Almost like, a sequel that you didn't know you wanted kind of deal. I was skeptical, and then I watched it, and it's up there for one of my favorites. Again, a little biased because Winnie the Pooh is one of my favorites, but Cinderella, the whole, meets her fairy godmother and loses the glass slipper and stuff. This is Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3. This is Cinderella 2 is Dreams Come True, and Cinderella 3 is A Twist in Time. I remember watching 2. I don't remember 3. Actually, with DVDs, I do have a little set over there. Maybe I'll take it out and show you guys. But I got a whole from China, I believe it was, probably like 10 years ago now. They had a sale where it was almost every single Disney movie at the time for like $120. I'll show you it at one point. But this is Cinderella. This is the live action with Elle Fanning. One of my favorites. Every time a new Pixar movie comes out, it comes out and becomes one of my new favorites. This is another Steelbook, and that's Coco. If you haven't seen that, like Mexican heritage about keeping a picture of a loved one, because in the afterlife, as long as you still think of them, they're still around, kind of deal. Once you forget them, they kind of disappear into nothingness. Dumbo. And then to tell you the truth, this is Dumbo, the live action. It probably was the worst out of the bunch so far that I've seen. That was, cartoon turned live action. Wasn't really, I don't want to say impressed by it, but just wasn't what I enjoyed when I was a kid, kind of deal. Little Nemo, where the little fish gets caught by a fisher's net, and the father goes after him. Finding Dory's the sequel, where the father meets Dory. In the first one, she's kind of absent-minded. In the second one, she kind of looks for her family. She starts remembering stuff, so then she goes and looks for her family that she did lose so many years ago. Finest Hours. The Fox and the Hound. I remember the last time I did it, did a update and stuff like that, showed off my movies. I call these guys Copper and Rusty, but Copper and Rusty is two cartoons that I used to watch, but this is Todd and Rusty. And Todd is the fox, and Rusty is the dog. And this has both movies in it. It's The Fox and the Hound and The Fox and the Hound 2. Does the second one have no, I guess it's just The Fox and the Hound 2, when they're grown up and they have families. This is one of my first purchases. Well, when you sign up to the Disney Movie Club, if you have a code, you get movies for cheap. You get the first 4 movies for $1. And I thought, $1 each, but no, they were 25 cents each. You would get 4 movies. Then the only thing with the Disney Movie Club, almost like a Columbia House kind of deal, you would have to spend a certain amount of money in 2 years. So pretty much you would have to just buy... You have to buy 5 titles at regular price, which is like $27.99 or something like that. But if you signed up for when you first signed up, you got 4 movies for 25 cents. Then you got one for like $8, and then you would get one for like $14.99 or something like that. But that would count towards your your 5 purchases. So then you would only have to buy 4 at regular price. I think when you first got there, you would get 7 movies for like $24. So Disney movies, 7 movies for $24. I'd say if you haven't already signed up to the Disney Movie Club, this is a short for Frozen, Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I do have Frozen over there, which I have not, didn't bring it over here, but I do have Frozen. The Good Dinosaur, tell you the truth, it wasn't probably the weakest out of the Pixar movies that I've seen. I don't know, it just wasn't my deal, I guess. The Great Mouse Detective, one of my favorites growing up, if you haven't seen that. Take on Sherlock Holmes kind of deal. You got Basil of Baker Street, and he's like this detective mouse, and he's searching for this young girl's father. Home on the Range, about cows trying to save their barn. The Incredibles 2. I do have The Incredibles, but it's on DVD. Then I got The Incredibles 2. To tell you the truth, it held up. Sometimes sequels, especially if they wait a little bit too long, they don't come out as good as you hope. But to tell you the truth, Incredibles 2 was, I don't want to say incredible, but it was good. Inside Out, pretty much a young girl with all her emotions, and you find out that each emotion is its own, identity and person and stuff like that. Into the Woods is, a different take on a musical. Let's see, trying to move these over. The Jonas Brothers Band, 3D concert experience. I don't know. It's one movie I found at like a cheap garage sale. I think I got it for like $3. Still doesn't. I don't know why I own it, but the Jungle Book. This is another version of the Jungle Book. This is the limited release of the movie Disney Movie Club exclusive. This is the live action version of the Jungle Book. It ranks up there for like, well, what is there? I think 6 or 7 of them now. Jungle Book, Dumbo, Lion King, Aladdin, Cinderella, now Maleficent 2. Probably like 8 of them, I think, something like that. And that is all right. It's not too bad. I believe they have a live action version of this on Disney Plus. Lady and the Tramp. I think that's out already, but Lady and the Tramp. This is Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure. Don't remember watching this one, to tell you the truth, when I was younger. I remember watching a lot of, the straight directly to video instead of going to the theaters. You get a lot of these like sequels and stuff direct to, DVD at that point. Not even DVD, it was the VHS back then. And I don't remember watching some of these sequels and stuff. The Lion King, the regular one. I don't have the live action version. That's probably a Black Friday buy for me. Lion King 1.5, where it takes some of the original movie, but then it's from Timon and Pumbaa's perspective. So you get a little bit of the original, but from a different perspective, I guess you want to call it. The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. This is the Little Mermaid 4K edition. This is another direct from the Disney Movie Club. The Little Mermaid 2, and then the Little Mermaid 3, which again, I don't remember the third one. Little Mermaid Return to the Sea, and the Little Mermaid Ariel's Beginnings. Don't remember this too much. This is another Disney Movie Club exclusive. So you get a lot of these like only in the club. You could probably find those on like Amazon. I haven't checked, but you might be able to find it on like eBay or something like that. But I don't know if they mark up the prices. The Lone Ranger, this one kind of got shit on. Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. It's all right. Maleficent, one of my favorites. This probably is up there for, if not my favorite live version. A different take on the whole Sleeping Beauty tale, where the Sleeping Beauty, she pricks her finger on the spindle and falls to sleep forever kind of deal. Different take on it, why she's so evil. I want to see the second one. I heard really good things. Marnie's Moms, kind of good, one watch, and I was fine. The Steelbook edition, the limited edition of Mary Poppins. This one's very cool looking. Sometimes I do have a decent amount of Steelbooks, but the Steelbook has to like catch my eye, and this one definitely did. Mary Poppins. Watched this one the other day. Not the same. It's all right, but it's not the same. Mary Poppins Returns. McFarlane USA. Like I said, don't mind me. My nose is starting to, get clogged and all that stuff. Moana, definitely another Pixar movie. Like I said, for a while it was just every new Pixar movie became one of my favorites. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas. When I bought this thing, I thought it was the Mickey's Christmas Carol, but it wasn't. And they're all right. The first one was decent, and then the second one was like, if you can't tell, it was like that House of Mouse that they made at one point in time, where it's like different animation kind of deal. It's not like Pixar. It's like, I don't want to call it claymation either. It was just like a weird animation kind of deal. Didn't really like it. Monsters University. I think I like this one a little bit more than the original Monsters Inc., to tell you the truth. I know I'm probably in like the smaller uh, pack of that. Most people like the original Monsters Inc., but I don't know. I like that one a little bit more. It has a little bit more of a story. Mulan, I think they're making this a live action sooner or later. Muppet Treasure Island and the Great Muppet Caper. I like a lot of these old school Muppet movies. Then they made the Muppet or the Muppets. When was this from? 2009, I believe, or 2012. I was a little off. 2012 with the Muppets, and then I guess because it did well, they made a second one, Muppets Most Wanted, where they run into like an evil version of Kermit who tries to take over. I forget what it exactly was, but he's trying to take over something and pretend to be Kermit. Like I said, the other I do have a second version of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and then this is just the regular edition, the 20th anniversary edition. Sometimes I like to keep editions. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms wasn't that bad of a movie, to tell you the truth. Didn't know what to expect when I walked into it, but it wasn't that bad. The Odd Life of Timothy Green. I enjoyed this one about a family that a couple that couldn't have a kid, and then one time they wish for it, and he ends up growing in the plant, and then he's pretty much around to fix everyone's moods and stuff like that. And then once he's not, I don't want to spoil anything. What's his name? Seth Green's in here. Danny Travolta. Don't mind me. And Robin Williams in John Travolta. I don't know why I said Danny Travolta. Anyway, John Travolta, Robin Williams, and Seth Green. The two older guys are like businessmen and kind of different takes on how to run business and stuff like that. This is Oliver and Company, and then the main reason I kept it is because I didn't have Oliver and Company in any other form, but I did have the Fox and the Hound, like as you saw, Fox and the Hound and the Fox and the Hound 2. But this is also, a Disney Movie Club exclusive kind of deal. The Oz Great and Powerful. They did make a second one, I believe, of this one. I could be completely wrong. But Oz the Great and Powerful, another take on the Wizard of Oz. Peter Pan, classic Peter Pan. Peter Pan 2, Return to Neverland, Disney Movie Club exclusive. Pete's Dragon, the remake, the live version of it. Didn't like it, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I enjoyed Pete's Dragon. The original was one of my favorites. Then they made this. I don't want to say it's a horrible movie, but it kind of took it in a different direction that I don't know why I enjoyed the original one. It's a what do you want to call it, a like half normal movie, half musical, and that one didn't have any singing in it. Pinocchio, another Walt Disney Vault one that came out of the vault with the what do you want to call it, Disney Movie Club. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales. I do have a 4-pack that I bought from like the UK of the other ones, and then that one came out. Planes, almost like Cars. Then Planes 2, Fire and Rescue. Pocahontas. Prom, like a coming of age kind of deal, like teen romance type movie. It was alright. Prince of Persia. I bought this at a Blockbuster that was going out of business how many years ago? I think this came out 2010. So all those years ago, I think it was new when I first bought it, because I don't remember when the Blockbusters went out, but it was cheap. So I'm like, I'll buy it. Saving Mr. Banks, the story behind Mary Poppins. This one, if you haven't seen it, I say, if you want movies to tear at your heartstrings kind of deal, check out Christopher Robin and check out Saving Mr. Banks. Really good job. Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors and definitely did a really good job. This is the Disney Shorts collection. I forget exactly how many different shorts they have in this thing. 12 celebrated Disney shorts, as I read in the back. So that's Disney short films Then they have another one. They do have a second one, which I don't have, but this is Pixar Short Film Collection number 3. A lot of these you can find if you have a lot of the Pixar movies. Those are the ones that play after the movie or in the special features, and then they kind of just take all of them and they put them together. Wreck-It Ralph, the Ralph Breaks the Internet. This is the second Wreck-It Ralph. Definitely, these movies became some of my favorites. After watching them, I didn't know what to expect from them, but then they became some of my favorites. Sleeping Beauty, Snow White. The first cartoon. When was this made? 1932, I believe. When was this actually made? I believe it was 1930 something. Does it tell me on here? No, it's just giving me the date for the actual print of the Blu-ray, but don't quote me on it, but I think it's from the 30s. But Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first Disney movie. Tarzan. Three Musketeers. This is the other, what do you want to call it, movie I got from the Disney Movie Club for the cheap. This is Tinkerbell and the Never Beast. Tomorrowland. This one's definitely interesting. Kind of takes like Epcot and how Epcot is like in the future kind of deal. Kind of takes it with that. Toy Story 4 just recently got this one. Just actually watched it yesterday. I enjoyed it. The ending kind of left it open for maybe another one. Toy Story 5, who knows? But then Toy Story, they had these short films of their own. Like I was saying, the Cars had their own. This has their own. It's Toy Story of Terror, where it's like scary stories and stuff like that from Toy Story. And then Toy Story That Time Forgot, where they met when at the end of 3, when they give all the toys to that young girl, she has a whole bunch of dinosaur toys and stuff like that. Winnie the Pooh. This is the is this the normal one with I don't remember. No, that's not the Many Adventures of Pooh. This is just Winnie the Pooh. I have the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh on DVD. I have to get that on Blu-ray at some point in time. Disney's A Wrinkle in Time. I think this came out towards the end of last year. Either end of last year or beginning of this year. The first Wreck-It Ralph, like I said, didn't know what to expect from this, but I definitely enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. Like I said, the second one, Ralph Breaks the Internet. This is Zootopia, one where the little bunny is a police officer, and she's trying to figure out this case, and the fox is like a pretty much like a known criminal and like pickpocket and stuff like that, and he uses his own his sleuth stuff. He being a criminal, you have to know your surroundings and stuff, so she kind of uses him kind of deal as help. This is 101 Dalmatians. I do have the other one, which was the first one I showed you, which was the Disney Movie Club edition. This is the Diamond edition. And then the last one is 101 Dalmatians, Patch's London Adventures. So that's 101 Dalmatians number 2. And then, like I said, what I'll show you here, I do have, other DVDs. I got the, what do you want to call it? Mighty Ducks 3-pack. I got a bunch of the sports ones, like the Big Green and Cool Runnings and stuff like that, which I do eventually want to upgrade to a Blu-ray, because they do have Blu-rays out for a whole bunch of them. I do want to get, like I said, Cool Runnings is one of them. I want to get the, what do you want to call it? The Parent Trap 1 and 2. I remember watching 2 many years ago, but totally forget about it. They never made a remake of that with, what do you want to call it, Lindsay Lohan, because they did have the Parent Trap with her, but they never made a second one. So this right here, let me just make sure this is the right one. So like I said, many moons ago, many years ago, I bought a box set from China where it had pretty much all the Disney movies together in one big pack, but they gave you the packaging wasn't that great. You had a like big cool looking tin, but of course when I got it, the tin was so bent in that I kind of had to take it out. And then you got these like disc holders like this, so I'm like, I'm not going to keep them in there, so I might as well just put them in a nice little binder. And then each one kind of gives you, you know, each one is numbered and all that stuff. On the box set itself, it had all the numbers if you were looking for a specific one and you forgot the number, because they aren't in alphabetical order. It just kind of has a number coordinated with it. So Fun and Fancy Freed, that's another one that I have on DVD by itself. Cinderella, like it has all the what do you want to call it, the original movies, and then if it had a sequel or at least, you know, 3 movies. This one, for some reason, I don't know if this is 101. That I think it has the cover for the, you know, live action movie, but I think it's just a cartoon. The only other problem with these things here is when you go to, you know, put in the movie, the front screen or the the menu screen, should I say, is all in Chinese. So you kind of have to guess, you know, which one is play. Other than that, it plays in English and stuff like that. So that's my entire Disney Blu-ray collection, except for those DVDs. Again, I do have a whole, you know, probably another like 20 to 30 movies that are on DVD, but I packed those away. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I said, I did this for the launching of Disney Plus. You know, I would have did it a few days ago, but I've been under the weather. I'm surprised I made it through this video, you know, without passing out. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Like I said, you know, besides horror movies, if you haven't checked out my other stuff, Disney is probably up there neck and neck with, you know, the horror genre, then Disney and you know, coming of age movies and stuff like that. I grew up on Disney, so you know, it's probably my second biggest, you know, collection from a company. So hopefully you liked it. If you did and you haven't already, like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload you know, more content and stuff like that, so you'll be the first notified. And yeah, if you are interested, go ahead and check out Disney Plus. You know, I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but check out Disney Plus. It has, from what I'm told, pretty much the entire Disney lineup, plus all the Fox movies and everything that they bought is now on Disney Plus as well. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually kind of talking myself into it, which I might do. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. And I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.